standing in line. And so, I unconsciously pull down my mask a little bit to sip my coffee. So while I'm sipping on my coffee, there's a guy that has walked in the store and he's standing in front of me. And so now he turns around and he says, "Excuse me, sir, I really think you should consider putting back on your mask." And this is before he could finish. I said, "Excuse me, sir, I think you should really consider shutting the fuck up talking to me." And he said, "Oh, no, sir, I think you really should." And I said, "No, I think you should consider shutting the fuck up talking to me." And then he goes, "Sir, I think if you would just listen." And I said, "I think if you'll just listen, you'll understand that warning comes before destruction." And he politely turned around and went back to minding his own motherfucking business. Because see, when you're just a normal person, you don't know who the next person is. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who you offended. You don't know what they're capable of. You're just an ordinary, everyday motherfucker, and you take it upon yourself to step out of your place and address me, and you don't even fucking know me. Just like I don't know you. So I don't have a right or an authority to address you or to tell you anything. Because you're watching something on the news, because you're watching something the government said, or something that the government officials has passed down, it does not give you a right to step to me and tell me what they said or what we should be doing or what the law is, because I don't give no fuck. If the police come up to me, I'm going to inform them of my motherfucking right, because I got rights here. And I got a right for an ordinary, everyday, normal motherfucker not to come in my face. And if you come in my face, then you're going to take whatever comes out my mouth, because I got freedom of speech. So I'm going to call you bitches, hoes, motherfucker, dumbass, sleep, sheep, whatever comes out my mouth when you step out your place to tell me how you feel about me not wearing a mask. You're going to take what comes with it. So remember your place, that you are only responsible for yourself. You only have authority over yourself. And once you think that you got authority over a God, a witch, I'm going to correct you and I'm going to put you back in your place. And if you don't like what I'm saying, ooh, these magical hands. Because I ain't got to touch you physically. To put hands on the witch is worse than putting hands on someone that got corona. Because you don't want to catch these hexes and curses, because I ain't motherfucking playing. I'm not your everyday normal motherfucker. So don't try to address me like I am. We all going to stay in our place, and I'm going to stay in mine. When I go places, I don't talk, I don't play, and I'm not your friend. So when you see me there and I'm minding my business, you mind yours. If I ain't got the mask on, I decided not to wear it today. Go get someone that's going to make me put it on. Because, the truth, that's not my fault. I could give a fuck less. And you can make up whatever fantasy or whatever you know in your mind from whatever you read or from whatever you interpreted or from whatever you got from the good Lord. I could give a fuck less. I'm right here. And I ain't running from shit. I ain't running from a motherfucking thing. So now if you think I'm guilty, come get me. If anybody think I'm guilty, come fuck with me. But keep my name out your mouth. Put some respect on it. Know who you pronounce it. Know what you pronounce it. Where did you get that name from? Who taught you how to pronounce that? Keep playing with me. You don't know what I know. You only know what I tell you. Let's talk about that. All right? So while some of y'all want to play like you want to get famous, or play like you want to play with me, like you're standing toe to toe with me, know what energy you playing with too. Yeah, I said it. Now, with that being said, anybody else feel like I'm guilty? I could give a fuck less. You need evidence that say I'm guilty. Your words don't mean shit. They don't stand up in court. Only truth stands up in court. Yeah.
Well, the witch says you need truth and evidence. Well, here it is. First, I will start with the public evidence that the Hollywood Police Department and the FBI has obtained. Then, I will analyze the very telling Facebook post that Shannon had written himself on the days after. He was charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence and held without bond, determining that he may be a flight risk. Remember, he is homeless in Florida, and he also had dipped off to Texas when he was on the run. He'd also been charged with kidnapping Lela's son. However, those charges were dropped due to the fact that authorities thought that he was trying to receive the ransom. They dropped the charges and changed it to child neglect. On July 27th, one day or hours after Lela's disappearance, he is seen on those same cameras. He asks the police to look at those cameras, but it's him. The description of him witnessing Lela jumping in a dark-colored sedan It just doesn't exist. He is a 3 black man, and Lelia jumped in his Lexus sedan. Shannon was seen dragging what appeared to be, they described as heavy items in a large black trash bag repeatedly to and from the car, back to the dumpster, to the car at that racetrack service station. He was always there, remember? The free Wi-Fi. So he was always there. Employees of that gas station would find women's clothing and children's toys inside that dumpster. He also had put inside that dumpster, and he's on camera doing it, bloody towels. There's an article where there were 2 shovels that was found in back of Lelia's truck. He had purchased cleaning products with someone else's debit card, I might add. Then he came back to that same store 15 minutes later and he purchased advanced extra strength duct tape. There was blood found in Shannon's Lexus and Lelia's truck. To top it all off, he searched on his own phone, inquiring when will the trash be collected out that dumpster. Why? Why would he care when that dumpster was going to get rid of the trash? He also searched, does bleach and alcohol make chloroform? What was he trying to do? All these searches out of his car, on his phone, they were court-ordered warrants. Shannon is not witnessed to have dropped Camden off at the apartment building, but his gold Lexus with that missing front bumper was in the area, just lingering around, perhaps waiting for someone to rescue this child before he left the area. Police had checked these landfills repeatedly, and apparently Lelia's body, it just hasn't been found to date. So he has a mountain of evidence and much more, I'm imagining. So now let's take a look at his Facebook page. He posts more than a 14-year-old girl upset with her best friend. But on the 25th, when Lelia arrived, he only posted 3 times. So it seemed that the homeless man was doing something else that prohibited him from posting so much that day. He actually said in one of his posts on that day that Lelia had arrived, quote, "I don't give a fuck who another person thinks they are. What the fuck that got to do with me? As long as I know who the fuck I am, that's where all my fucks go. Now, about you. Bitch, I'm a witch. Now, ask yourself, who the fuck are you?" End quote. Who is he talking to? Who is he referring to? If you look at posts way before he was ever even discussing Lelia or around Lelia, he always tried to give off this, talking about collecting crystals and conjuring and putting different type of memes up. It was a very different look than the agitation of after his intern arrived. In one of his texts, he rants, and he now refers to himself as a demon, not a witch at all. Quote, "You sure you got me, fool? Or are you trying to fool the fool?" End quote. Very agitated. He put pictures of the FBI actually searching his car. But what's most alarming to me is the alligator pictures on August 6th. He loves to bring authorities to the scene of the crime, if you know what I mean. Like when he kept reminding them to look at the CCC footage as if they were going to forget. The day before he gets arrested, August 15th, Shannon posted 35 times on that day. He lived on Facebook, literally. I think Florida News had referred to him as the Wandering Witch. Shannon Ryan has done something very awful to Lelia. After well over 2 years, family members fear that she was murdered. Was this premeditated? The only reasons I'm skeptical about that, he had to purchase this duct tape and the trash bags and the cleaning stuff, etc. But was he trying to seek revenge as soon as he saw Lelia with this pickup truck? He wanted that truck. Was he trying to redeem some of the things that had been stolen from him? Or Lelia was gorgeous. Did she turn down advances now that they are finally alone? Remember, they were in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, out of his mouth, when they met. And she had entered in his home. There was another woman there and another child there. And in one of his videos, I even heard him call this woman his wife. So, that's on my mind too. Was he so upset with the fact that she did turn him down? I mean, she's in and out of cars. Maybe being with somebody sexual for monetary gain, maybe. And meanwhile, he's taking care of her and her son, feeding them, sheltering them, doing what they need to live. And now they're alone in Florida. Just some things that I think about when concerning this case. His video, before you knew everything and this overwhelming evidence, it seemed like it could have been truthful. He mixes up the truth with lies and deception. He tricked Lelia. He told her that he would help her and she wanted help, and he knew this. It's not a hex saying that you will be homeless and that people will be after your child. That's not a hex. That was actually Lelia's life. People like CPS, Child Protective Services, they were looking into her situation. This was Lelia's reality that she was living in. She told him this. So this was not a hex. If he had absolutely nothing to do with her disappearance, why assault her character? I mean, just say, she's not the best mom, but she loved her kid. The other examples just wasn't needed. If she had been molested even, as he puts it. I mean, she told you this in privacy. Why tell the world, so to speak? Then quickly saying after you say that horrible thing that you claim her parents had did to her, say, well, she probably was lying. Because she always lies. This is definitely assaulting her character. For a person who claims not to watch the news, he surely acts like the media. When someone is murdered, the first thing that they do is they try to assault the victim's character. Most of you know what I'm saying. When there is a crime and it might be racially motivated, they will try to assault the victim's character. So when the public looks at this, they'll see, oh, that person did such and such and such and such. So you won't feel as if this person just wasn't murdered because they were the wrong color at the time. All evidence is pointing to Shannon Ryan. A woman you helped that you refer to as, quote, a manipulative thief that wasted your time, end quote. I mean, you were really big mad. You said people deserve a second chance and they can be reformed and changed. You had been changed. You were charged with third-degree burglary and you served 15 years in prison. That's what you said. Lelia was young. You took advantage. You figured she had burned all her bridges with her family and friends, and no one would come for her. Plus, she's way in Florida, in a whole other state. No one would look there. Even removing her off when you mentioned her on your Facebook page. So it's like you guys didn't even have the ties that you really did have. She arrived on the 25th of July, and whatever he had did, it was within those hours. In my upcoming videos, I will be doing a analysis on Lelia and why I think she really ended up in Hollywood, Florida. Is Camden finally out of foster care and reunited with the people that loved him most, his family? And what has happened to that very ill intern that was in the Florida hospital, Christina? And did the witch's wife, Tiffany, ever come forward with anything? We haven't heard about them at all. It's been over 2 years. But more than definitely, I will be discussing a witch.